In our ancient past, human beings were much more than what our high school textbooks reveal. We think of the cradle of life, the start of a sophisticated civilization was Sumeria, according to high school textbooks. And we all hear of ancient Egypt and the great pharaohs that gave way to great kings that we think of in the Middle East and Asia and Europe, these empires with glorious men and these powerful lineages. But before all of that, there was an ancient beginning, more ancient than we'll ever know. It goes further back than we'll ever believe. And the whole idea of Atlantis, Lemuria, which just seems to be just sci-fi, imagination. It can't possibly be. There's no way our ancient ancestors were more advanced than the 21st century. That's not possible. They were just primitive. They were hunters and gatherers. And yet, as we awaken more fully to our own creative intelligence that is advancing so much with our sharing and our inclusiveness and our ability to move beyond the restrictions, conditions, and limitations of the past that have separated us so much so from consciousness that is within us, that is within every single being, every human on this planet. And it's connected to all living things. As we start to remember ourselves in the fullness, in the one God of ourselves, and move beyond these divisions upon divisions that keep us distracted and confused and running around this planet with fragmented. As we start to retrieve more and more of our fullness, our wholeness as a collective, as this one God within ourselves, we're realizing our ancient ancestors, they were quite masterful. They were beyond technology that we think of a device or a television or a computer in modern times. They were possessing a more spiritual technology that the pre-dynastic Egyptians were accessing. And according to, I guess, New Age Egyptology, they're starting to realize that the older times of Egypt, before the first pharaohs, were actually more sophisticated than what we think as dynastic Egypt, which is more closer to our times today. And that in the pre-dynastic Egypt, way before this whole idea of these pharaohs, that there are times where human beings had a spiritual technology that has been passed down and is still here today. And it was quite cosmic, it was quite galactic, and most of the indigenous people of this land are connected to that same spiritual technology that we think of Egypt. It's just one civilization. There's so many others that are out there in North America, South America, so many that were using the same spiritual technology. And it had to do with the mind, right? Everything goes back to the mind. Everything goes back to all we are is our mind, right? Our body is led by our mind. Our reality is led by our mind. And the mind is the jewel, is the precious thing. But without that heart, right, without that heart connection, our mind, it can be full of so many mental afflictions, mental intrigues, even perversion so easily. Because the heart is like this wise elder that tells our mind what is real and what is not real, right? And because we are led by the moon, and the moon is the lunacy, right? The illusions. We as human beings on this planet have struggled with what is real and what is not real, right? And with this technology age, we're starting to feel the technology maybe pulling us away from nature, and nature really calling to us more than ever to help this planet and this civilization, this new paradigm, to be one that is actually in service to nature in the bigger picture, which is all the sentient beings, the plants, the animals that we think of. And one of the best ways to connect the mind to the heart in a very quick and just effortless way is through the mantra. It has been used in very ancient times. It's used in all kinds of indigenous ceremonies, right, that have different sound codes, right, but are basically all coming from the same stream, the same sacred pool of this spiritual technology that is to help navigate the soul, right, the soul, and the soul within the body, and bring the body into its highest reality, its fulfillment. So that we can go through death and rebirth, right? When we could die, we can really have full remembrance, so that we can really understand how to proceed forward, right? We know how to evolve. We know how things work, how karma works, how samsara works, how to heal, how to focus our intention. So this is a simple mantra, and it's a way to really ignite the creativity, the energy, the fuel. No rocket can go into deep space without immense fuel. And the great challenge for our, I guess, NASA is, how can we go interstellar if we don't have enough fuel, right? So the real sort of breakthrough is about having endless renewable energy that's generated within, and how to stabilize that, how to strengthen that, right? That's the real warrior training of the future, right? It's the psychological, mental, and emotional, all the energy bodies, and to be able to fuel it, renewable fuel, right? That's actually sustainable, and the longevity, that's clean, right? Clean energy, the clean energy, so that you can be able to go the distance, because we are being instructed by Mother Earth to go the distance spiritually, so that we can mature and mature rapidly and evolve in our mind in a way where we can transmute and transcend these timelines that could be very destructive, so that we can really take leadership over our planet and really access more of a spiritual technology rather than an unnatural, artificial technology, so that the power can remain in the people, the power can remain in the soul, rather than in external artificial thing that continues to keep us separated from the power within. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti.